Welcome back everyone. This is our last session in Android Study John's program. In this, we are going to deal with a very important topic, which is called recycler views in Android topic. So for this, you need to have some knowledge on basic computer literacy and some mathematics. You need a computer and headphones. Headphones are optional. Of course, you need internet connection. If you have an Android device, that will be good. You need basic Kotlin language. Also, you need knowledge of binding various components as well as some UI designs. And you need the final important topic, which is called object-oriented programming, because we need this topic to understand recycler views. So we have these objectives for this season. First, we will see what a recycler view means, and then we can have a look at different examples where we see recycler views in our day-to-day life. And then we will check the requirements to make these recycler views. And then there are some managers called to manage our app layouts. There are some managers, and we will learn about them. There are different processes to in a program called synchronous and asynchronous calls. We will learn about them also. And then we will see how to make recycler views using data within our local app. That means we can use an array, a list, or a list of strings or a list of numbers within our local app without any internet connection. And then after that, we will see how to get data from Firebase Firestore, which is a cloud data storage, to our app. And then I will provide some learning resources to continue learning in this field at the end of this. So I would like to start this with an introduction to what a recycler view means. Assume that you have suppose you have your name on your mobile screen with a view. A view is something that can display something or that can handle an UI. Suppose you have a text view which is responsible for displaying text. If you have only one text view, then that text view can display only one text at a time. It cannot display some 10 text or 20 text at the same time. So this is a problem we face while making our Android apps. And this can be solved using recycler views. You can ask how. Assume that we have a text view A, B, C, and assume that you have a text view A, B, C, and also you need to get X, Y, Z when you scroll your screen up. So how can you get that? You cannot replace this A, B, C with X, Y, Z. Instead, what you can do is if you use recycler view, then with the help of a same view again, that means the same view will get recycled, and then it will show us XYZ. That means the same view is getting recycled after the use, and the previous view will not get disappear. This is what a recycler view means. So let me say some real life examples where we use this recycler view. Assume you are using Instagram. Assume that you are using Instagram feed. In that, you can find there is some space for displaying images, and there is some space for like button, and some space for comment, and one button for share, and some text view for displaying the caption of that. And here you can note that the same view, I mean the same block of view, image, like button, comment, share, and here the save button. And these all things are getting repeated when we scroll our screen up. So that is what the same view is getting recycled again and again. This is recycler view. If you assume WhatsApp in our mobile, you can say when we open the chat here, there will be a display picture, a name, and our recent message. The same will be followed for all the different people in our contacts, which we can see. So we can observe that this is one view, and this view is getting recycled with the different data which is coming after this. So we need few things in our app in order to make this recycler view. First thing is we need an item. Item is nothing but a particular view or like some of the views. Like if you have a photo and text view, then photo is an item and a text view is another item. Like this, first you need items and then you need an adapter. Adapter is like a mediator. It takes data and then it will prepare the data to be displayed in the recycler views. And then we need view holder to hold these all views, which are a text view and image view, this all. Finally, we need a recycler view, which we are going to use this in our main activity or some activity directly to display the final recycler view in our app. Here you can observe from this diagram that adapter will act as some mediator between our item and view holder as well as our recycler view. So starting with this, before we need to know about some layout managers, because we can display this data in different fashions. Like if you are using linear layout manager, then we can display data horizontally or vertically. Horizontal is nothing but this way. The data will get aligned in a horizontal fashion, and vertical, what will it make us, it will align data in a vertical fashion, one after the another. You can see in this left side image, and here the right side image deal with the horizontal list view. The name itself says that it's a list view. That means the data will be in the form of a list. Next we have a grid list. Grid list, let me explain this. Grid list is something you can see here in the leftmost image. Grid will contain some columns, as it will take columns as a parameter. That means we need to supply how many parameters you would like to display the whole data. And the grid view itself will adjust to the data in a grid fashion. You can even specify dimensions for this each grid. And then we have staggered grid view, which is combination of our linear views and as well as these grid views. These are all the different layout managers we have. That's when we have recycler view ready with us, we can say which layout manager is to be used for our app. Then it will automatically align the related layout manager. Next, very important thing we should know is what an synchronous and asynchronous process mean. Synchronous means which will happen right there. Suppose if you have code in which we add two numbers, the two numbers addition should happen right there, and then it should move to the next line. That means in order to execute the lines after that, it should first execute the lines above that. That process is synchronous process, and that should happen at that time itself. Coming to asynchronous process, it have no link with other code. It will once we start this process, then it may take some time to finish. So let me say why we need this asynchronous process, because let me say when we push a button in our application, it need to fetch the data from cloud. It's a time taking process, right? So for that reason we need asynchronous process, and asynchronous process will not disturb any other code in our app. So let's first start with making an application which will display local list of data using a single view, which is a text view. I will start that now with my Android Studio. I will create a new project with an empty activity. Let me say project name is ASG3, and I'm using Kotlin language. And that's it. Let me wait till I understood you build my project. Okay, meanwhile, I will introduce you to Firebase. You can visit this URL console.firebase.google.com in order to start using Firebase. Whenever you open this, it will show list of your recent projects. As we are dealing with our new app here, we need to create a new project, and then we need to give a name for this. So let me do AS3 for this. And then here it will ask whether you need Google Analytics to observe the analytic behavior of your users, or do you want to skip this? Let me skip this for this project. And then click on create. It will take some time to create your project. We are going to use Firebase in order to store our data in cloud with the help of Firestore, which is a sub feature of Firebase. Okay, now our application is ready to build. So let me keep this apart, and we will see this after making our local app, and then we will see how to connect our app to the cloud. So now we have our main activity ready. Here in the main activity, I'm going to add recycler view first so that we can do the rest of the things later. We have our we have our XML file here, and here I'm going to add recycler view. There is a text view here which enters to your main. I'm going to remove this, and here I'd like to add a recycler view. And I'm going to make our full screen for recycler view itself, because we don't have anything right now to add except recycler view. So for that, we need to say the recycler view should match to the parent. That means all the sides of our screen, top, bottom, left, and right. So width will match and height will also match in the same way. Now I would like to give one ID for identification of our recycler view. I can say it as ID my recycler view in short. And then as we are using constraint layout, we need to specify constraints. That means to which view or to parent this particular view should align to, or this particular view should stick to. As we have no other views for now, I'm going to say that all the sides should stick to the edges of our mobile. So for that, I can say, as you know, this is top, this is bottom, and this is start, this is end. So I'm going to say start to the start of parent, and then end to the end of parent again, and top to the top of parent, and the last one left is bottom. So bottom to the bottom of parent. Okay, now this is ready, and we need to get reference of this recycler view to our Kotlin activity. So I'd like to specify this globally. You can say this is var and RR view. I'd like to declare variable like this. And as this is a type of recycler view, I am saying this explicitly. I would like to initialize this later. So here RR view, which is equal to. So we need to get the identification of this view from our XML file. So for that, we can say find view by ID, and we can specify the ID for that. We can get the ID by specifying R stands for resources, and then ID, and then the name we use here. What we use my RCB. So I'm going to mention it here. So now we successfully linked our XML to our Kotlin activity. Let me keep this apart for now, and then I will start with making adapter and view holder, which we need to make a recycler view. So before that, we do need a list, right? Because we are going to display data one by one from that list. So to display a list, let me make a function here. Function get list. And as is a function, and I would like to make the return type so I would like to use string as a data type for this, and then I'd like to return. First, let me add those values. List, and this list is mutable list. Now let me add data to our list. So we can call this function add to add the data. So we need to add strings. So for example, I would like to add simple data like ABCDs. Okay. Okay, now we created our list here. Now we need to return this list to our function. So to return that, we can use return, and then we need to specify the variable, which list. Okay, now our list is ready. So for now, let us add our resource file, because we need to specify the view, right? It's a text view. So in order to do that, we need to create a layout, and I'm calling this as alpha underscore list. And view, I would like to use linear layout. You can use anything you like. Linear layout is something that views will get aligned one after another without a need of constraints. So my linear layout is now ready. Now I would like to add a text view in order to display text. Before that, you need to make this view to wrap content, because uh, this single view should not occupy our whole screen. This view should occupy only the size required for a particular alphabet, right? So we need to say wrap content. That means it will get the height of that will get aligned to the height of the content which we are going to show. And for the text view, you can use wrap content again. And so for the sake of showing text here, for us to see the text view here clearly, I would like to say this as text alphabet. Text alphabet. Now we can adjust the style of this. So in order to adjust, I can say this one should appear large, and the font family should be black. Just then I can do many things to add style. I can make it, and then I will align this to the center of this view. Okay, finally we need to give an ID. Here by default ID is text view, but I would like to make this is alphabet. Okay, now our ID is alphabet. Now our view is ready, which is a text view. If you would like to add some more things, like if you'd like to add images or if you'd like to add buttons, you can do everything under this linear layout manager, because we are going to say that our recycler view is going to hold a view which is to get recycled. That's mentioned here. As I mentioned here, only a text view. The text view will get recycled. If I mention text view and an image view, both will get recycled. In the same way, everything will work. So our view list is now ready. Now we need to make an adapter for this. So to make an adapter, I need to adapter is a class, Kotlin class. So I can say alpha adapter. It's a Kotlin class. So we made a class now. Now we need to make an inner class in order to get the view which we just made here in this XML file. So for that, let me say it as an inner class, and this inner class will take a view which is nothing but this view or the list of views we mentioned here. So for that, first you name for this class as a view holder. This is called view holder, and I will supply parameters for this. It will take the view as a parameter, and this one need to get inherited from a class called recycler view. Not just recycler view, in recycler view we should also get a view holder, because this is holding different views, right? And this view holder will take the constructor of this view holder will take view as a parameter. So we need to supply the view which we are getting to the view holder to as a parameter to the constructor of this recycler view holder. So I'm going. So this is ready. View holder is now ready. And then coming to here, in order to supply some constructors here, I will take a context, and context is a class context itself. And then what I need extra, okay, I need this list, right? So as this is a list, I will supply it here. It's a list. Okay, let me use some other name because it's some result keyword it's looking like some alpha list. And this is a mutable list, right? Lists are of two types, mutable and immutable. Mutable is something we can reassign every time, but immutable is something once we assign it cannot be reassigned. So it's a mutable list of type strings. And even this adapter should inherit recycler view adapter. And this will take the view holder as the type of adapter. So here our view holder is alpha adapter dot view holder. Now, there are some methods for recycler view which are inbuilt in the SDK. We need to implement now in order to use that. To do that, you can press Alt Enter and then it will say implement member functions, and those member functions are listed here. You can import this all, and they will get imported automatically by Android Studio. So here, this function get item count should return the number of items we have in our list. So we have the number of items. For that, we can say alpha. Let me save this as variables so that I can use them in this class. So now let me give alpha list dot size. This will return the size of our list. Next, we have some member functions here. One is called onBind view creator and onCreate view holder. So onCreate view holder is a member function which will bind our XML file, this file which contain our views, to the adapter. So to do that, let me say let me take a variable v, and then we have a class called layout inflator, and from that we need to specify the context where we are doing this, from which activity, and this context will be sent from our main activity which we are going to do soon. So context, we already took context as a parameter, so I'm going to specify that here. And then we have a function inflate. Here the first thing we need to supply is our layout id. This is our layout, right? Alpha list.sml, so I need to specify that id. For that, r dot we can say layout dot our layout name, which is alpha list. So that's it. And the second parameter which it will take is the view group, and that view group will automatically be supplied as a parameter for this member function by the recycler view. So we can, here we have parent as our view group. We can supply that same here, parent. And then we have attached to root. You can say attached to root as false, because we are not going to attach this to the whole root of the view. And then that's it. Now we successfully link our adapter to our XML file. Now we need to return a type of view holder, because this view holder will be used by this inner class view holder again. This will take this view as constructor, and that view is nothing but this view here, v here. So I'm going to supply that as a parameter, which is v. That's it. Now we successfully linked our XML file with our adapter. Again, what else we can do? Let me say here. Now everything in our alpha list XML file can be used here, because we supplied view as a parameter to this view holder. So we have one text view, right? So alpha text. Now we can get the ID of this text view, which we said here alphabet, by using this view dot there is a function called find view by ID. Here we need to specify the type of item we have. We have a text view, right? So we need to say it is a text view. It's a text view, and here you need to supply the ID for that, resources dot, and here we use what ID? ID as alphabet. We need to say the ID is alphabet. Now this alphabet got referenced with a variable alpha text. We can make this variable in order to handle this text view. So now this view holder is just used to get the reference to the views which we have in our alpha list view. In order to implement the functionality, we need to use this active implement method, which is onbind view holder. We need to use this in order to make functionality. So for that, you can observe here, this onbind view holder is taking the constructor holder, which is view holder, this one. That means this one is again getting as a parameter here to onbind view holder method. So you can make use of the same view holder again here in this method onbind view holder. So yes, we can use that again. What I would like to say is holder is this view holder, and then we see, you can automatically see alpha text is popping up because we declared it as a variable here. You can select alpha text dot, you need to make a text to that, and which text you would like to make is the text coming from this alpha list, right? So I can say alpha list. You need to specify index of the list. Index of the list is nothing but the position of the recycler view, right? So if that view is a first view, then it should show us the first alphabet. If that view got recycled again, then the position will change to 1, 2, 3, and so on. So we need to supply position, and that position will be given by this onbind view holder, because we will get a position as a constructor here. So now a specified position for the list, and that's it. Now our adapter is ready. Adapter is ready. Now we need to just call this adapter object. We create object for this, which I will adapter adapter alpha. I named the adapter as adapter alpha in our main activity, and this is a type of alpha adapter. Okay, I would like to initialize this later in this activity. So for that, I'm specifying this variable as a late initialization variable. So I will initialize that here, adapter alpha equals. Here I'm going to specify the parameters to be supplied to our adapter. So as we supplied, I will send a context to this adapter, and also I will send alpha list to this adapter. Now we need to send that. So to send that context is nothing but our main activity. You can say this, or you can say you can also say main activity of this. And then we need to send our list, right? So our list is where? Here in this function get list. You can simply say get list. Okay, now we initialized our adapter. Now we need to say recycler view to use this adapter. So to say that, you can use recycler view dot adapter equals adapter alpha. Now, as I said earlier, there are some layout managers which will take the decision whether to show our data in linear fashion or a grid fashion, or in a horizontal way, vertical way. So for that, now I'm going to say recycler view layout manager. I am going to say let this one is linear layout manager to display our list of alphabets in linear vertical way. So for that, we need to call this class, which is a linear layout manager, and we need to supply the parameters for this, which are the okay. For that, we need to supply the parameters. This will take the parameter, the context. So context here is our main activity, right? So we can simply say this. So we successfully supplied the constructor parameter here to the linear layout manager. Now What else we can do? We can say that this layout manager has some fixed size. So for that, we can say we can set the size of this as fixed. That's it. Now everything is done to display list of alphabets in our recycler view. Now let me run this. Don't to run this, there is some issue with my Android virtual device in my Android Studio. So for that reason, I'm going to use my mobile device here. So hold on for some time, around for 5 minutes. I will run this in my Android device now. You can see my mobile device now. Now I successfully installed app which we just made in my mobile device. Now I will show that how it's working. Here you can see the last application which is ASJ3. When I open that, it's showing the list of alphabets which we just added in our list. So I'm going to add one more alphabet to this so that you can understand how recycler view work. I'm going to add hi. You can see here how hi get added again. That means, let me explain this coming back to the Ender Studio. Okay, I will show the Ender Studio here. What I did, I just write a small code again, list.add hi. When I write this and then when I refresh the app, it showed you hi. That means you can observe that here we have only one text view, and this single text view is getting recycled again and again to show different data. This is what recycler view mean in the apps which you use like a feed in Facebook. You can see a feed in Facebook contain one image section about that a name of a person. It's a display picture. These are all views, image view, text view, and below you have like button, which is a button type of view. Now we successfully run our app using our local data, right? Now let us make something interesting. Let us fetch out our data from cloud. So for that, we already created our project here. Now navigate to Cloud Firestore. As we are doing this first time for our project, we need to set up this. So for that, click on Create Database and then start this in text mode. Because in order to start this in production mode, we need to specify some rules for using. Suppose user can write the data to our database only if he is signed into our app. That way we need to write some rules if you are going in production mode. As we are doing just for texting, we can go with text mode. Here you need to select a location near to you. This will help in order to choose the servers which are near to us. As we are in Andhra Pradesh, I would like to say Asia Southeast Asia. Okay, let me say Asia South one. Now our Firestore cloud storage will get created. Coming to this, Firestore is a NoSQL database. Here, data will not get in a type of tables like a normal SQL. In NoSQL, we have something like initially we will have collection and then we will have documents, and then documents will contain fields and the values. You can say field values as a key value pair also, and that key value pair can be list of array also. So here let this one get prepared. Meanwhile, yeah, this now ready. Let me add the name of the collection. As I said before, there will be a structure like a collection document and then field keys. So let me say the name of the collection as alpha, and then you need to create one document, at least one document, in order to make one collection. So here you can click auto id, which will create one automatic id for your document. Here you need to specify the name of the field. As we are dealing with the alphabet, let me say alphabet. You can specify the data type here. As we are using alphabet is a string type. So here initially I gave one value a. This will create one document, and later let me create some more documents because we need to show different data in the same way, right? So let me create some other data type. It's alphabet B, and then again auto generation alphabet C, again auto generate alphabet D. Okay, now we need to connect our Android Studio project to this Firebase project. So to do that, here you can see tools in this menu of Android Studio. Come down, click on Firebase. In Firebase, as we are using Firestore, you can find Firestore somewhere here. Firestore, yes, here. Here click on read and write documents with Cloud Firestore. Now click on connect to Firebase. Now we need to select our data, our project. Then wait for some time. Let Android Studio get connected with our Firebase. You can see a message here, Android Studio is connected to your Firebase Android app. That's it. Now you need to add some dependencies. Dependencies are types of libraries which you can use in our app supplied by Cloud Firestore. To do that, click on Add Cloud Firestore to your app, and here it will show us what changes will be applied to our project upon adding this. You can accept the changes, and it will take some time in order to download those files to our project, those dependencies to our project. Here you can see in this, it is importing, it is downloading some Firebase related files. Behind this. So meanwhile, I will do one more thing. So as we are dealing with the online storage, we don't need this list, right? I will remove this list. Okay. Now we need to supply data as a parameter here for the adapter to display the data, right? So to display data, in order to make, we need to make a class, a data class to get data from our Firestore. So to make a data class, what we can do is make it to another class with the name. I'm using alpha name here. This is Kotlin class. As I said, this class is a data class. Data class will just have constructor. In the constructor, you need to say which data you are going to take from your Firebase. So from my Firebase, I would like to take the field value. We need to specify our final field value. So as we are specifying field, right? So for that, we can say where you need to specify the exact name which you had used in the database here. We used the alphabet, right? Alphabet. Alphabet. This is a type string. You need to initialize this to some null or something like this, because you don't want to make the application crash if there is something wrong in your Firebase. So that's it. Now our data class is now ready. Coming to here, it's alphabet. Okay. So here we need to start from mentioning our collection name and then our document name. Sorry, document name is not required because documents will get automatically assigned to our data classes with the help of this adapter. Let's share that how it works. Need to first make use of this class Firebase Firestore, and in this class you need to first get the instance of this class because it will be an object, right? And then you can specify the collection name. Collection name is alpha here, so alpha. Now what you can do is you can add snapshot listener, because as I said, the process of getting data from our cloud is an asynchronous process because it will take some time, to get data from cloud to our application. It depends on internet speed sometimes. So for that reason, There in our Firebase, Firestore provide a function or a method called add snapshot to listener, which will get activated when all the data got received. So for that, I'm going to call that method. And in this method, what I want to do is, I need a list, right? Again, so for that, I'm going to say list. Here, the name is get list, right? I'm removing this. Simply say I will say LL, and this list is a list of type, is a list that hold different alphabets, right? So simply I can say this as list of data classes, like a list of classes, a list that contain different classes, right? So I'm going to specify the type as a list, and this list is a type of alpha, alpha name. Oh, okay, okay. Yes. The list type will be automatically assigned here, so I don't want to make it global. Let's make this here. As I said, I will use LL as name. And here, what I would like to do is, this will provide that value as a in the form of a variable value. We will get this from our Firestore. So here I'd like to map this. I would like to map this to an object, because here we said data class, right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the data in the form of list of objects of this class. So for that, Firestore have some inbuilt function in order to do that. So we can call that function here. The function is toObject. ToObject. Here you can specify the type, the class. Class is what here we have alpha alpha name. Okay, there is issue with Render Studio, so it's not detecting the name of our new class. So to detect that, sometimes such an error will occur. So in order to solve that, you need to use this. You need to go to files, you need to click on invalid caches and reset. So wait for few minutes till our Render Studio get restarted. Yeah, we are back. Sorry, I misspelled this. I wrote wrong spelling here. No issue, you can use any name. So this is a Java, okay, Kotlin class. But here for Firebase Firestore, we need to supply this class as a Java class. So here it's asking for null call because the list should not be null. This one should not be null, right? So for that, we are going to here. I will explain this once again. Here, this snapshot listener reading the data. Each value is getting mapped as an object to this class so that we will get multiple objects. Now it's ready. Our object, we got the list of objects in the form of a list here, which is LL. Now I will make it global, like where LL of type, a list of type name. Yes. So now we successfully got the data from our Firestore. In order to, okay, just that's it. Now everything. Oh yeah, we missed one thing. Here we need to supply this list as a parameter to this, right? So I'm going to supply that. We name the list as LL, and that's done. Okay, here we said the list is a mutable list, so it's complaining that you said list as a mutable list, but it's showing a list as a string. So we need to string. What list we have? We have list of this data class. List of this data class is. Now here it's fine and here is fine. Coming to here, on-bind view holder is complaining us again that it's saying that it required character sequence but found alpha name. So we can solve this by mentioning this to string, because when we get data from our list, we need to make it as a string again, because each data we get is a data class, right? We need to make it as a string. Now everything is ready. So I will run this in my mobile now. Hold for a while.
Is it completed?
Your app is ready. So here again, I'm opening your app. In the app, you can see the data which we just added in our cloud Firestore. You can see DABC. The data, the order of the data will get in a random order. If we want to if we want to say the order in which we like, then we need to specify something in our program itself. We can say um, order the data depending upon the order of the alphabets. In that way, we can say as we are dealing with strings, it will take the data which we add at the last time. So here the specialty is if we add any more data in our cloud storage, it will reflect here immediately. So for example, I will add some data here. So here I'm going to add some data. Let's say add a document, auto-generated, and it's alphabet. Alphabet. Mm, for instance, for this, let me say one of our name here. Let me say first all the names over here. We have very less participants, right? So first I will add Casey and then Sanjay and then I will ash. So Casey, I added here, and immediately after adding this, application, you can see it will get reflected automatically. So in the same way, I will add two more names. Here you can see names got reflected immediately after adding in our cloud Firestore. So that's it. So hope you learn how you can make use of a single view again and again. So in this manner, whenever a new data get added to any social media platforms, they need to make use of a single view again and again because they can do right. They can't make another program for every new post, right? For that, they need to make use of this recycler view. Assume if there is no recycler view, then what they need to do? They need to make this view many times. Suppose if, as we have Abhilash here, if Abhilash made a post here with an image, then someone who code this need to specify his name here, image he uploaded here, and let me assume there is a one more person, Sanjay. He said he added one more name with a photo. Then we need to add one more text view and one more image view. Same way, if we have Casey added one more post, then we need to add one more text view and one more image view here. That means we need to add multiple views here. And this is now solved with the help of recycler view because we are using the same view to populate data with the help of our Firebase Firestore functions. We can, when we add a new document here, as per our code, the new document will get aligned automatically in our application. This way we are using a single view again and again. So we completed this one, local data population, and also the remote data. In order to continue learning Android development, you can make use of the links available here. These links I will share along with the YouTube video link after this presentation. And if you would like to mention your participation in this program, in this season, you can use hashtag Android Study Jumps in any social media. Also, we have one Instagram profile here. You can mention us. It's a DSC CMRTC. And if you have any questions, you can ask me. I'll hold for 10 seconds. If there are no questions, then I can quit.
Yeah, there is no questions to ask.
Okay. If there are no questions, I'm going to stop this program. That's it. Very thank you for attending this. Have a good day.
ఇంకా